Hey everyone, NoModMaster here. Next on the list at number 27 is Croup Manor. Croup Manor has an area rank of 28 and a height limit of 10 floors. So Croup Manor is a very difficult settlement to unlock. It's going to have a lot of high level ghouls in and around the settlement, so I would only suggest coming here if you're a mid-level player or higher. Sometimes other settlements will send you here, but you can walk right up to Croup Manor if you want to unlock it. All you have to do is clear all the feral ghouls, and then you can unlock the workbench. I'm going to fast forward though and show you guys what it's like afterwards. Okay, so Croup Manor is a 3-story home situated on a cliff next to the ocean. The problem is that you don't have access to the water. You're right next to it, but you don't have access. So the first floor here we've got what looks like a living room or family room area with 2 doors. You can put doors in these doorways if you like. And then over here we've got the main entrance and the hallway area. I usually turn this into the kitchen because I feel like there's not really a kitchen in this house. This is the dining room area. And then there's another doorway connected to the dining room that takes you back up to the front porch, which is interesting. So you technically have 2 doors on the front of the house. So the best thing to do with Croup Manor is to use the workshop to repair it, because you can't delete this structure. So the best thing to do is to try to repair some of these holes in the floors, and I'll show you guys how to do that at the end of the video. And obviously repair some of these walls, and then maybe even put in some new doors if you like. There's a big hole in this room. This is the study. You're going to want to grab the key out of the desk in the study. That key unlocks the bedroom upstairs, and you need to get in there to kill that ghoul. There's another room over here. Looks kind of just like a closet or a safe room. Now let's go up to the 3rd floor. So the 3rd floor has a big opening here that you can utilize to not only repair the roof, but to put an additional room if you wanted. Over here is the 3rd floor bedroom, which is locked. So like I said, you need to get that key. What a lot of people do though is they jump up onto this dresser here, and then they shoot the ghoul in this room, and that is bad, because if you haven't figured out where the key is, you'll realize that that ghoul does not unlock the workbench. There's more ghouls in the basement, and you need to pick a master lock in order to get in here. But if you have a key from the 3rd floor bedroom, then you can get in here. So let me fast forward and show you guys what the basement is like. Okay, there's a couple high-level ghouls when you enter the basement, so be careful when you first come down here, but once you kill those ghouls, then you can finally unlock the workbench. What's interesting is that even though they require you to kill the ghouls in the basement to unlock this settlement, you actually don't have access to this room once you do have access to the workbench. So the plus is that you do have a weapons workstation down here, and that's about it. There's a few other things you can grab too. Okay, let's go back upstairs and I'll show you guys the outside of the settlement and some of the ways you can patch up the holes in the walls and floors. Much like Sanctuary, Croup Manor requires lots of patching. Croup Manor is the largest home that you can turn into a settlement, so that's probably why it takes so much work to get it repaired. Okay, let's take a look at how much room we have outside. So you can pretty much build right up to the edge of the cliff here. And what's nice is that most of the area around the settlement is flat, especially the area behind the settlement here. The area that is kind of hilly is the front edges, especially near the driveway. But what's great is that this settlement is pretty much built up on a hill, so you have a vantage point. You can build turrets and guard stations, and then your settlers have an advantage against anything that tries to attack. And there tends to be a lot of enemy spawns here. There's times where I'll have super mutants attacking and the Brotherhood of Steel shooting from the vertibirds, so it is a good idea to build a little bit of a defense around this settlement and a wall, just in case. Okay, let's go inside and I'll show you guys how I patched up the floors and some of the walls too. One thing I immediately disliked about Croup Manor is the fact that there's only one staircase going up to the 2nd and 3rd floor. So what I did is I noticed that there is another way you can build a staircase coming from the 2nd floor inside of that safe room, or from the 3rd floor from that big broken wall over the collapsed roof. So up here on the 2nd floor you can see that I use rugs to patch those holes in the floor. They can go over any of the holes that are not completely open. So like this big hole over here is so open, it would have taken a lot of rugs and objects to cover it up, and I didn't like how it looked. So I decided just to block it off instead. And then upstairs on the 3rd floor,
You should know,
I
people
decided
have
to
been
add an
complaining a bit
additional
about
room
the
just
bed
like I mentioned
situation.
earlier. And this room not only acts as a roof for the room below, but I was basically able to add an entire apartment for the settlers. I didn't add a staircase, I only added a staircase on the 2nd floor, but as you can see, this giant hole is enough for a doorway and definitely enough for a staircase. The 3rd floor bedroom I also turned into a little apartment. This one has a huge gaping hole. I also decided to block this off as well. Obviously you can just use floor pieces to fix those holes, but I just didn't like how those looked. So rugs is a simpler way to kind of fix the less noticeable holes in the floors and kind of get away with fencing off the bigger ones. So you can do it however you like though. From here you can actually see my staircase leading up to the 2nd floor. It's not an indoor staircase, which is probably the advantage to building from the 3rd floor because you can completely enclose that staircase. But it gets the job done. That pretty much concludes my video for today, guys. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.